All right, welcome everybody to something that's bittersweet. I wouldn't say bittersweet, but this is literally the last um part of the Airbnb overview. Today is going to be a special part because I'm not just going to be teaching a specific part of Airbnb, but rather we're going to be doing a Q&A. And this Q&A is going to be with some of our fantastic hosts that are a part of the program. These are people that came into the program. They was able to go out and get some units. They are excelling. Some of them have made over $100,000 in their short-term rental business, and they're doing phenomenal. So what I wanted to do today to bring everything to an end, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to, one second, let me just go ahead and do this. So I wanted to, give the opportunity for our current host and our current mentees and our current guests to just come up and ask any questions related to Airbnb, anything that you can possibly think of that will help you, right? That will help you, or something that you need to get answered, right? This is the time to ask the questions. Now, here's the thing that I learned too. And this is why it's important to be in a room, because somebody may ask the question, but the answer may be for you. Can I get a Honolulu? Right. Let me say that again. Somebody else may ask the question, but the answer may be for you. Sometimes you don't think of the question, or maybe you don't get enough courage to ask the question, or maybe you think, oh, this is not a good question to ask, and you don't ask. Somebody else asked the question, and it gives you the answer that you needed to take your business to the next level. Or maybe somebody asked a question that you didn't even think about, and when the answer comes, you go, oh my God, I need to implement that. To be honest, that happened to me. I was on the call where Carmen did, and I don't know if somebody asked a question, or I think somebody asked a question and she answered it, and I said, oh shoot. Me as a coach, I'm like, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. So like, somebody asked Carmen a question, she answered, but the answer was for me, right? So it's good when you're on these type of calls, because you're going to get a chance to ask questions, or you're going to get the chance to hear answers to other people's questions. All right. So once again, welcome. I want to do this real quick. I want to introduce everybody. I'll do a very brief introduction of myself, and I'm going to introduce some of the other host panelists that are on here, and then you can ask questions. When you ask a question, the best way to do it is, one, just raise your hand, and then I'll see it and I'll select you to go. Or I'll just say, hey, unmute yourself. Right now, I want to leave it so you guys can unmute yourself just in case I don't see something. Or number two is you just write in the chat and say, hey, got a question, can I go next? And then I'll just pull you up. So I think we'll do it that way. When you ask a question, you can ask it out in the open. Just ask it, and whoever one of the panelists can answer it, or you can ask it to a specific person if you want a specific person to answer. All right. So with that being said, let me introduce myself real quick, y'all. My name is Jay Dinkins, and I am from the Bronx, New York. I'm a person that went to school, got my degree. I did everything right. I was in the social work field. I did social work for years. And around 2013, I got introduced to network marketing. Did network marketing for another 7 years. And I honestly thought that that's what I was going to do. When I started my journey in short-term rental, it started during the pandemic. I was looking for something else. But if I'm being completely honest, when I started this journey, I said to the person who told me about Airbnb, I said, I don't want it to distract me from my network marketing business, because I was really good at network marketing. And I thought that would be my thing. I didn't think Airbnb short-term rental would be my thing. I thought that I would do network marketing forever. And I thought that Airbnb would be just something good to have on the side. In my head, I said, I'll go out and get a few units. I'll make an extra $2,000 a month, and I can use it to pay some bills while I build my network marketing business. And as I went through this process and I started to see how fun it was, how much money we were making, how easy we were able to grow, how it didn't require a lot of my time, how much fulfillment I got. And then just having a conversations with other people about this, I knew that this is I found my new love, right? So I was like, this is it. So then I just really jumped into Airbnb. So thus far has been an amazing journey. I am now a little over 2 years into the space. The most units that we've had at one time was 12 units. We currently have 11 because we recently shut one down. So we're actually shutting down some of our least favorite units right now. We're going to end up shutting down another one, and then we're going to go out and my goal is to add like another 10 more, honestly, in the next few months. So yeah, we've done very well. We've done over $1 million on Airbnb in just over 2 years. And obviously have a coaching program able to help a lot of other people do, create the similar results. So I am extremely blessed and grateful for that. So what I want to do is I want to bring up our first host and panelist. I'm looking right at her, so I'm gonna call you up first, Carmen. If you don't mind unmuting yourself and just sharing with the great people a little bit about who you are.
Hey, good night, guys. How everybody's doing? My name is Carmen. So just to share a bit about myself. I started Airbnb, I want to say, really started my journey in 2021. So in 2021, at that time, I'm still doing my 9 to 5 as I do now. I am a mom. I was in the middle of moving, or at that time, I think I already moved to Pennsylvania. And I lived in New York all my life, Brooklyn, Bronx, so now I'm in PA. And I am a mom of 3, a fiance, and still working my 9 to 5. So I came across Airbnb through Instagram. So I started to see Jarrell and Yvonne post about it. And it was always something that I was interested in doing, but I always thought that you needed to own a property. So once I saw that they were, sharing with everybody, like, hey, for you guys to do this, you do not need to own a property, I really got interested. I went ahead, took Jarrell's call. It was like what was it? I forgot what you called it, but it was a 1 hour thing, the power hour, yeah. It was a 1 hour thing. You was given like many good information about how to do the Airbnb business. And once you did that, I turned to my fiance and I'm like, listen, we're definitely gonna do this. Then later on, I think a month later, or a few weeks later, you came up with the Insiders Club, which I joined because I already knew in order to be serious about this and do really well, I'm gonna need some mentor, right? Fast forward, I started my LLC process, I believe in August or September of 2021. And then in January, that's when I really started to put in the work, looking for properties. And by February 1st, I moved into a property in Texas, in Fort Worth. So fast forward to now, a bit over 13 months later, we are now 4 units in. So I'm actually going to be setting up my 4th unit this week, which I'm super excited about, and have earned already over 100K this year. So that's about it. Just a quick introduction. Again, my name is Carmen.
Thank you, Carmen. And I seen our traveling buddy, Ashley. There she is, hair on fleek. So Ash, if you don't mind unmuting yourself and go ahead and share with the people.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. All right. You came up in here. Don't look back. I see you got that shirt on too. You got that nice shirt on. Yeah. What? Build the wealth is not an option. All right, I see you. Wait, hey, can you? This is a recording too, and you on blast. Where you came from? You was traveling? You was business or like vacation?
I was in DC for a wedding, so and then my flight got canceled. Then it came back, and then it was delayed. But anyway, I'm here.
Oh
Safe.
wow. Well, good you got here, man. I mean, only see what happened, y'all. When you become an Airbnb host and you start making over $100,000, you fly from DC to Jersey. This you is unreal. That is a 12-minute flight. Congratulations to all your success with your 12-minute flights. But go ahead, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley. So my journey to Airbnb kind of happened when I became a mom. I've been a traveling hairstylist for about 9 years. I still had a regular job, so I was doing hair part-time. and I started to launch hair products, right? And everything I was doing was so physical that I wanted to try to get time back as a mom to spend with my daughter. So I was looking for another alternative. Trying to work and do hair and have my daughter just wasn't working out the way I really wanted it to work out. So I was like, what else can I do to allow me some free time, but still give additional income without me having to physically, do so much work, as far as like me being a hairstylist and going out to my job. So again, like Carmen said, I was looking on social media and I came across the Airbnb thing as well. And I seen Jarrell posting and it looks really great. And I did the power hour too, but it was like power 3 hours. But I thank you for that. Got all the information. And I was super interested, right? So I had already set up my LLC in like 2021 to end like November. But I didn't like make a move. I still was doing the research, still, doing the power hour with Jarrell, and really trying to understand what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, build up the funds and just have everything ready and set. So when I was ready to go, I can do it. So in 2022, about March is when I really started to reach out to units and see what units I can get. And I wound up getting about 4 units in like 2 weeks or something crazy like that. And I was building ever since then. I was able to make over $120,000 in about 13 months as well. And joining the Insiders Club really helped with that when Jarrell came out with the mentorship, because when you're getting into something, even though you have most of the information, I think having a continued guidance helps, because things can come up and you want to make sure that you know how to answer it, how to handle it, maybe somebody to go to for a little bit of advice to walk you through the process. So once he mentioned he was having his mentorship, I jumped right in, no questions asked. And it's just been really great. Even throughout the mentorship, I was able to still launch my hair products and create hair courses and classes in addition to that. That's doing really well. It's helping me just still be able to do my hair stuff and still be able to be with my daughter and still continue to grow the Airbnb business as an extra stream of income. And right now I'm working on another unit, possibly going to set up in the next month or so. So I'm just really grateful to be a part of the team and have a mentor like Jarrell to be able to help me out as a mom and just, trying to have the extra income go, or who knows where it will take me. I might just go straight and have this Airbnb be bigger than what I thought it was. Because like Rel said, you got one thing that you really want to work on and you want to try something else, but you don't want it to really distract from your passion. And so far it hasn't done that, but it has been like a great addition to help me in like business as a whole, learning how to deal with certain things and, get things handled that might pop up. So I'm just grateful for the whole mentorship with Airbnb and even with my personal business. So yeah. Oh, I'm from Harlem, New York. I moved to Jersey, but I relocated to South Carolina 2 months ago. So yeah, I'm here.
Wow.
That's it.
Shout out to you, a relocated. Well, thanks for telling me. Thought we were friends, but it's all right.
I did mention it to you.
I'm messing with you. I don't remember. I don't remember relocating. I know you said going, but let me see. Now I want to see. Let me see if I can add all 3 of us as a pin. Oh, I can. All right, cool. So here's what I'm gonna do, y'all. I'm just gonna have all 3 of us up here. This is gonna make my life much easier, so I don't have to keep pinning everybody. But we are gonna go ahead and accept some questions. And as you do that, just go ahead and if you got a question, just raise your hand real quick. Raise your hand real quick, and then I'll go ahead and start selecting some people. But I will tell y'all this while we're waiting for that first question to pop up. Yeah, man, this business, like it will tell you if it's the thing for you. And I think it'll just come in time. Like you're gonna know at some point as you're doing this, like, you know what? Like I've been doing this, but I think this is about to be my main focus. It will show up. And I think that something like that like happened with Carmen. Like I seen like her doing it, and then it was then it start to see how like, all right, cool. Like she's taking it seriously, right? Like you'll see it start to happen. And Ashley, she does a few different things too, but you will see it like you'll have that feelings, but I don't want you to feel like you have to stop doing what you're already doing, or you have to like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna take a chance on Airbnb and I'm gonna stop doing it. I'm gonna just, I'm just hoping that this works out. No, just you can do Airbnb is so good. When I say Airbnb, I'm talking about short-term rental. I'm not only just talking about Airbnb, by the way. I'm just using it because it's a familiar term. But the short-term rental space, right? It's a great business because you can literally do it part-time and be making $1 million and have it not be your focus. So I just wanted to be clear about that. All right. So let's go ahead and get some questions answered. So I'm gonna go ahead and have Devon, you can go ahead and come on and ask your question.
Hi, my question is to Ashley. Well, to start out, to say hello and, oh, that's amazing. Doing hair is another amazing thing. I wanted to ask you, because I haven't gotten to that step at all. I've been in the business in the Insiders Club, I think about 3 or 4 months with Jarrell, and I'm just at the beginning stage. I just got everything in order, like my LLC, my logo, my virtual address, my business account with the bank. I've gotten those ducks in a row. Finally, I like really just said, I need to get it done. And it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy, but it was easier because Jarrell really helped me a lot. Getting on, when he gets on and he talks about those steps, I just decided I was going to do those steps, like, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this, and I got it. But I wanted to know like a little bit of the journey. Like, what is your first step? Like after you got all of those ducks in a row and you look for units, what did you do next? Like, what did you talk to the owners? Did you set up by yourself? I'm just curious of how your journey, a little bit of your journey, so it can help me to push me even further.
Well, hello, and thank you.
Oh, my name is Devon. I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm sorry.
Devon, thanks for sharing your journey, and congratulations to you for getting all of those things set up, because it's really, really important prior to even looking for units, in my opinion. So now that you have everything set up, same thing. I started to look in or think about areas that I wanted to have my Airbnb in, right? And then doing the research to see if they would be profitable. Like, where would people really visit? And what kind of Airbnb business am I running? Am I running like where I want professionals only? Am I okay with vacationers? That kind of thing matters. Do I want to be near hospitals for travel nurses? Or do I want to be near lives and malls and things like that, where I can get the quick turnaround, where people come in for 3 days to a week at a time? So that was the thing that I was thinking about most. Like, what did I really want either my first unit or all of my units to really focus on? And then once I found that out, then I looked in the different areas that provided that, right? So like, for me, I have units in Charlotte. I had Texas, Tennessee. Yeah, and 2 of them is in Charlotte. So I looked in those areas and I did my research, and I was making sure that I found units that were close to either hospitals or, as I mentioned, lives, or really hot spots where people would go and visit a lot, and so that the unit can stay booked. And after I did that, then now I'm looking at properties in those areas to be able to contact the property managers, right? And see if they have available units for the size that preferably we do 1 bedroom. We set it up so that 5 to 6 people can sleep in it. So, you have your script, you call them, you let them know what you're doing. Everything is already set up, so you're in a good position. So when they look you up, they see that you got, the legit number, the LLC, the business bank account, all of that stuff. So you're coming at them as a professional because you're already set up. And you just talk to them and let them know. And if they accept it, that's cool. And if not, you move on. You want to make a list of 15 to 20 properties or more, because you could call a lot that may not want to partner with you, and you want to make sure that you have more backup numbers to call in addition to that, right? You don't want to say, oh, well, I definitely want these 2 units, thinking that you would definitely get them, because sometimes it's hit or So the more numbers that you have for the properties that you're looking to get into, or the areas you're looking to get into, that definitely can help you next. So that's what I would say, since you're already set up, kind of think of how you want to structure your Airbnb and the type of people or guests that you want to stay in your units, professionals, vacationers. Then after that, you want to research the areas that you want to have Airbnb in. And you want to make sure that wherever you're going to have the buildings that you're going to contact, they're close to the areas where they're hot spots or the type of people you want to attract. And then you make that list between 15 and 20 or more. And then you contact the properties when you get a chance to, and just let them know what you're trying to do, the script and stuff that shared with you through the mentorship. And then you can move forward from that. And when you look up the properties, you want to like go through the listing, look at the gallery. If there's any reviews, read the reviews, look up the setup, see if it's something that you like, a building, if it's up, kept well, and you want to get in that, you want to make sure you know all of that before. And then even you can use the Airbnb platform to run numbers to make sure that it's profitable as well. You can do that before calling the properties, and then you can make your list from there as well. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. But if you want to, normally the way that we do, we want to make sure that it's profitable before we even make that phone call. But we want to have a list so we have enough to choose from. Hopefully that answered your question.
That was a mouthful. No, you gave it to me. I needed that. I know I needed that. So, because if you've never done something before, the fear is there. Right. I'm being honest. I mean, your family, right? So, yeah. I'm being honest. I have the fear there because I've never done that before. I've been in real estate before, but I've never done that. I've had a house that I rented out. This is totally different. Yeah. So the fear is there, but that's why I pushed myself to get all of those ducks in a row, because at first I was procrastinating. And then I was like, do you want to do this or not? And I said, yes. And then I went on and started doing it, and got that done. So this helps a lot. Did you have to go to you had to go to the places to set up, right? Like did you order your furniture? What did you do?
I didn't get to that. Yeah, you do have to go and set up. There are options. So when we decide on a unit that we're going to get, we look for cleaners and see, what cleaners we can have kind of go in and clean our unit in between bookings. And sometimes when you build a good relationship with the cleaners, they can help out, set up, break down, that kind of thing. I know my is really, really good. If I get a unit there and I'm unable to make it, I could call her and send everything there and she'll set it up. And I don't never have to go. That's just if you don't want to go, you can't go, and that kind of thing. But every unit I started out with, me and my dad went and my brother went to go set it all up. So I was there. Some of them I didn't get a chance to look at prior to completing the application and getting the okay. But once I got the okay and I got there, I looked around, I was okay with it, filled out and completed the lease and moved forward. Sent all the furniture there prior to getting there. So you go shopping first on Amazon, you think about your team, you get all of that stuff together, Wayfair, a couple of different places, and you send it straight to the unit. So when you get there, you sign everything, set up, and then you can go. You don't want to get there and trying to get everything there. It's just too much of a long process. So when you send it first, when you know you're going to come, like say you're going to try to get, you can still try to order everything and to get there for whatever date that you plan to be there. And most of the property managers, if you become cool with them and they have the space, they can hold it in their package room for you or put it in your unit so you get there. And then once you do that, either you can, if your cleaner's available to help you or you got a team that you want to come with you, you guys can just get started with just unboxing and putting the furniture and stuff together to set up the unit for bookings.
Okay, thank you so much. It's really appreciated. It really is. Thank you very much.
No problem. Any other questions?
I think you on mute, Jarrell.
Oh,
I see your mouth movement.
Sorry. Sorry, y'all, I forgot to unmute myself. So So I'm gonna bring up Catherine. She can go ahead and ask her questions.
Hi, I'm Catherine. Hi, Carmen and Ashley.
Hi.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice
Yeah, I'm
meeting you.
excited because I started my LLC 2 years ago though, but I started with wholesaling. So basically, if you don't know what wholesaling is, it's basically just getting distressed properties under contract, selling the contract to an investor that will buy the property at a lesser cost than you would pay for retail. So I was doing that, but the process is way more tedious than I thought it would be. Closing took a really long time, and like, it was easy if if you had the time to focus on that. So I took a break from that. And then maybe like sometime this year, I ran into Jarrell's Instagram. My fiance we're friends with like, his family or whatever. So they introduced me, and I immediately, like, we signed up. Like, I didn't even take the power hour. I didn't do the meeting or anything. Like, I just immediately just signed up because I'm just like, I saw their numbers and stuff like that. And because they kind of like knew him a little bit, they were like, you could trust him. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I trusted it. And I kind of like had a good feeling about it. So I just been kind of doing what I had to do, studying and everything. However, I still have that kind of like fear a little bit. Even though I've been able to get on the phone and talk to people, like talk to homeowners, talk to sellers, investors, like, I don't know why this kind of makes me feel kind of like nervous. I don't know, because it's a little bit more of a risk, whereas in wholesaling, you could put up $20, $50, $100 on a contract, to get a home under contract. But for this, I feel like it's a little more of a risk. Like even today, getting funding from the bank, like I qualify for the funding, but it's like the interest rates and stuff. So I'm like weighing my options with that. Like, should I get a credit card or should I do like a personal loan? How should I, do that? So yeah, but I'm excited. I spoke to a couple apartment buildings in Tennessee, in Nashville, and I was just having a little bit of hangups with that because of the permits that you have to have in Davidson County. And I don't know if you guys have, well, I know you mentioned, Ashley, that you have a unit in Nashville. I don't know how you went around doing the permit, or if you did it in a Airbnb friendly apartment and they did it for you. So yeah, so that's kind of been like the issue. But yeah, so I have a few questions. The first one, they're not long. So on average, how long does it take you to stage a unit before you list it?
I would say when I've been staging the units, it could take 2 to 3 days.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
then you list it after you've staged everything.
Well, I like to list them before I even stage them. So I listed on Airbnb just with the amenity photos of the property.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to tell you a little bit of what that looks like, what I do is, of course, just like Ashley said, you want to make sure that you get all your packages, the deliveries, furniture before you arrive. So definitely time your delivery time and make sure that it gets there at least 2 to 3 days before your moving date. Once that is, once that happens and it arrives and you arrive, you immediately get into setting up your unit. But before that, I like to do my listing because what I do is to get bookings right away before the unit even goes up, right? Even if before it's staged. So for example, let's say it's already, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days before my move-in date. And this is when you already have the okay, you already signed the lease, you already, everything is set with property management or with the landlord, and it's a go, right? So don't do a whole listing and you guys don't have the okay to do so.
Gotcha.
So and you guys have been delivering, so you know everything is set with the furniture and everything. So at least 3 days before the sign moving in date, I
Mhm.
like to go on Airbnb. I'll create my listing. And what I do, I put in the photos of the amenities of the property. So the pool, the gym, lounge area, things like that, like community area, things like that. In my description, I would say, this is a brand new building, right? Or brand new unit. I'm sorry. This is a brand new unit or brand new apartment, because that's an eye catcher. Like, guests loves a brand new unit, a brand new apartment, especially they're gonna feel they're the first ones there, right? To really take experience of that unit. They're gonna see only the pictures of the amenities from the property, but in your description as well, you're gonna let them know, you know, photos are coming soon. It's currently being furnished, right? Now, the huge thing that you need to remind yourself is to also block off some dates, right? Because again, you're gonna have to go there and you're gonna have to furnish it. So let's say you move in on the 1st, you will block off the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and just some extra day, right? 4, 5, and the 6th day. So like that, you have a range of 6 days to furnish, but I keep an extra 3 days just for emergency in case something happens and you need extra days, right? So now you have blocked off those 6 days, but your listing is up, is active. So those 6 days, people will not be able to book, right? But as soon as you have a new listing, I think that's one of the best things with Airbnb, because when it's a new listing, Airbnb really pushes and promote your listing. So you're gonna get like a lot of inquiries, a lot of bookings. A lot of people are gonna ask, oh, well, where's the pictures and things like that. But they're going to book with you because your prices are gonna be a bit lower than everybody else. So that's how I get bookings right away before I even furnish my unit, by listing it before, no photos, drop your prices a little bit below everybody else. And then once you have bookings and your photos are up, I like to push them back up a little bit, the rates. Okay.
So wait, once booked and you put the photos, then you put the price back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because by that time, you already have some bookings. So you could push them back a little bit, but you also want to keep in mind you want reviews as well. So people are going to be looking for reviews. So this is what's going to help you. Your prices being a little lower is going to help you get those bookings without the reviews as well.
Okay. Okay. And as far as the cleaners go, do you get your do you vet your cleaners or interview your cleaners when you sign the lease, or are you looking for cleaners before you even, like, how does that work?
No. I look for the cleaners before even getting there. Like once I got the okay and everything is a go with me, yeah, I start looking for cleaners. And we do interview them. It's always best to interview your cleaners. Make sure that you guys are on the same page.
You interview in person or over?
No, over the phone. It could be on, I do FaceTime or video call with them. And then you want to ask them all the questions like, hey, are you okay with running errands for us in case we have to restock? Can you let us know when things are getting low in our storage closet? You know, if they'll do a 1099 with you. I like to ask that question as well. You can ask them if it's just them or do they have a co-cleaning team? Because from experience, not everybody cleans the same way. So a cleaner can come in and do an amazing job, but someone else that is part of their team may not. So you just want to like ask them, or are you going to be the only one assigned to my unit, or are you going to have a team? And if so, just want to check in with them, like, is everybody trained the same way that you clean as well?
And how do you find your cleaners?
So first I ask for recommendations from, you know, anybody in our group. Like Jarrell or Ashley, or I just jump on it, even on Instagram, on Facebook, because, you know, those are people that will refer you someone good. Like nobody's going to refer you someone bad. And if not, I jump onto a Facebook group, is Airbnb cleaners. And then I'll just shoot the information like, hey, I'm looking for a cleaner. You put your city and state, and you can let them know it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Please DM me. And they'll start hitting you up, send you a message telling you you're interested. You guys can set up an appointment or, a time to talk over the phone, discuss prices, what they charge. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. And then
Hold on. It's like you about to
Sorry.
unleash the scroll on us. Hold on. Wait, stay here for a second.
Okay.
Anybody else, if anybody else have, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like 2 questions, but if nobody else have questions, then we'll let the person keep going. If not, we'll do like 2 questions, and then if another person has it, then we'll come back to the person that's currently on, and then you can ask more questions. So anybody else wanna, so let me do this too. So you know your next question already, right? Kathy?
Yeah.
All right, good. Hold it. Right. Lisa said, park it, keep it parked. All right. So let me get this one question in the chat real quick. So Shanae asks, how do you pay your cleaners? If you pay them through 1099, is it through Zelle? Ashley and Carmen, if y'all both want to give a quick answer to that.
Yeah, so I pay my cleaners through Zelle. So I did have a cleaner where she has her own like processing system. So she would send me the link and an invoice, and I will pay through that. And then I do have other cleaners where it was Venmo or it was Zelle. So you can definitely go ahead and make those payments like that. And then at the end of the year, when you do your 1099, you will gather the information and pretty much just put the amount that you pay them throughout the whole year.
What Carmen said.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep, exactly what Carmen said. So I was gonna say something too, but that was great. Okay, Nicola. Okay, I see your hand is raised too. All right, so we're gonna bring Nicola on. Hold on, Nicola. I'm gonna add you. Kathy, go ahead and ask your next question. Nicola, I'm gonna add you on, and then after that, after Kathy asks, then you can ask your question. Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah. So how did you guys, or I know Ashley said that she saved up money. I also did the same thing, but I'm thinking about going the credit route. Do you guys recommend any like lines of credit or credit cards to fund the units or furnish the unit?
Yeah, I did save some because when I was talking to Rel, he's like, you got a savings account for what? Use that money to invest. Anywho, so I was able to use that money and get some units. But outside of that, I did get some credit cards. I've used Amex. They've been really good with giving me a nice no limit. So that really helped with, all the expenses. Because again, I jumped and did 4. So whatever I didn't have outside of my personal money, I just used the Amex credit card.
And that was to furnish only, or to also pay the deposit and the rent?
Furnish mostly. The deposits and the rent and stuff, I kind of use cash for that through my business bank account. But yeah, so that's the ones that I had used. And then when I got the business bank account, they wanted to see me with the flow for a while. So as the Airbnb money kept flowing on in, then it was my friend, and they gave me a card, and I was like, I was trying to tell y'all, but anyway, that was the other card I had with my bank. I was using PNC Bank at the time. So they gave me a credit card, and I just like kept that for like Airbnb with the one Amex that I had for that, and outside of my personal funding. So you can do that. And you want to look at like how long is 0 and it's like 12 to 24 months for some cards. Some cards, a couple of billing cycles. You just got to do your research and see. I think both of the cards did me 12 months. So I was able to like kind of help with that, pay it back a little faster than that. And then you just see what the interest after the 12 months. But I don't think it should take that long to pay back, depending on get a whole. But even getting a lot, it still shouldn't take that long. Mine didn't really take long at all for the profit to be made to pay it back. So you just do some research and see which ones that can work for you. And I know you mentioned that you was already approved for funding, so it shouldn't even be really hard for you like to get.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to get the personal loan, and I could get the credit card because I could get both. They told me, but I didn't know which one was better because I also saved the cash.
Yeah, because the loan still give you cash, kind of thing, access, if that's what you want to put into your business bank account, even if you use it or not, if that makes sense. And you kind of just want to use like the card, or if you just want to keep everything on credit, which also is really good with shopping, because if you just send things back, stuff get lost, you can get your money back faster. So you just kind of think about what could work for you. But I think kind of both can work. How your business, though. They're both the options in my opinion. I just say make sure it's 0 interest or at least 12 months or at least 6, with if you get the credit card route or even a line of credit. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me add a few things to that while it's on my mind. I think what Ashley's saying is good. So as I'm thinking about it, right, if you have the opportunity to get a credit card and you also have the opportunity to get a loan, I would say if you can get a credit card like the American Express, what's that, the Blue Cash, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, right? Those are 15 months, 0% interest, right? So for all of my furniture, like things, I can order all of that on credit cards. So if I had the choice of decreasing the amount of loan, because the loan is going to give me that interest rate right up front, right? If I can do like, all right, you know what? My furniture is going to be about $4,000. So I can get $4,000 in a credit card with 0% interest for the first 15 months. And now, all right, I just need my rent and this and that, just to get in. All right, I'm gonna just take $3,000 on this instead of taking $7,000 or $8,000 on a personal loan, right? So that may make sense. So now you're kind of going there, and then you still get both. The good thing with the credit, those are both 2 different types of credit. So it's going to help your credit profile at the same time. So keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind real quick, everybody, is if you can you use credit cards to pay, like, let's say your first month rent? Yes, you can use a credit card, but with most of the buildings, you're going to have to pay that fee. So if your rent, let's just say your rent is $2,000, you could come with a certified check, money order, etc. for $2,000. But if you use a credit card, you're going to pay like an interest on the $2,000. So you're going to end up paying more. So that $2,000 may be like $2,150 because you're using the card. So you got to just keep those in mind. Can you do it? Yes. Now think about it like this. Like I said, y'all, we are entrepreneurs. So for me, if I had a credit card and I was limited on cash and I would have to eat that 150 just to get in, I'm gonna eat it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because I don't have the cash. I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna make that back. It's smart. But if I have the ability and it's not going to cause me to, be kicked out of my current apartment or put my family, at risk of not eating or something, like that, then I'm going to say, if I have that cash, and I'll just do it because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to, why would I waste the extra $150? But if I need it and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this loss on this 150 because I need to get in this unit, and I'm going to make sure, we already vetted the units. We already made sure that we're going to make the profits. Then we're going to go in that way. Make sense? All right, cool. Do you have any more questions? If so, I'm gonna keep you up here. I'm gonna just have the next person come up.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. She said I'm gonna be here the whole time. Just keep me up here. Don't worry about it. All right, cool.
We got you.
She got a whole. Y'all know the cartoons with a scroll come down like, oh, you got a question? Yeah. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and bring Nicola. Nicola, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and let me get you up here real quick.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Good, how are you?
If my phone may break up because I'm at my storage unit, like packing some orders, so I'm like busy right now. So I hope the reception keep going. But I wanted to just piggyback on what Catherine had said about the hiccups as far as the not having a what do you call it? What did you say, Catherine? Not having the oh my God,
The funding?
the permit.
Yeah.
Not having the permit, like for some places. Or is like people around that are like, how does that go from like getting a place? Like, Because I haven't started yet, because I've been super busy, but I'm gonna start soon. I tell Jay all the time, like I have to watch the videos over. But I need to like start. I just wanted like what to expect, down the road when I start like, like going through the process of it. So what the
So Nicola, just to let you know, it's like every time you ask your question, it like cuts in and out, so it goes staticky. So try to ask it again. If not, write it in the chat, because it like we hear parts of it, but then like as soon as you're saying a question, it like shuts out. Like the universe don't want to hear your question or
I
something.
was asking, no, I'm at the storage unit packing some orders, so the reception is bad in here. I was asking what are the permits that you need that Catherine was talking about.
Okay, yep. Good. So just to make sure it's clear on the video, what Nicola is asking, what permits do you need if you're gonna get a unit that Catherine was talking about? So any of y'all want to answer? You want me to answer?
You can answer.
Well,
Okay,
that's based on a state law for that state.
Yeah.
good. See, Catherine's a part of the panel now. So yes. Yeah, so when we talk about permits, it's going to be based on the city and state that you're going to get your units in. Every place is different. Some places require, some places don't. Some are like statewide, some are like in certain areas. So in particular, I know because me and Kathy were talking a little earlier, we were talking about a specific place, which is Davidson County, which is in Nashville. So in Nashville, they have strict permit laws, but only in Davidson County are they strict. But that is the main place where everybody wants to visit, right? So it's really going to depend on the location. So we probably lost her already, but we're gonna still make sure the question get answered, right? So it just depends on the location, y'all. So when it talks about permit, this is why we say to use Google. You can even use Airbnb to do your research, to see if you are able to do Airbnb and whatever city that you are looking to do Airbnb in, right? Short-term rental. So you want to make sure that you are clear to do it in that city. By the way, I'm glad it hasn't happened yet. Let me make this clear for all of the hosts and all of the people a part of the Insiders Club or the Mastermind. When asking a question or answering a question, please do not mention exact buildings or units, because this is an open call. We have guests on here, and as you know, you get those privileges of knowing buildings when you are a part of the program. And also this recording will go out. I will actually have this up maybe on YouTube or something. So please do not say the name of your buildings. Feel free to say the city, feel free to say the state. Just do not say the name of your buildings or locations of your units at this time. But everybody in here, that if you guys are on and you guys have questions, you want to know about certain buildings, y'all, the Discord chat, feel free to ask. We always are putting people on to the different buildings that we have inside of our community. All right. So
I'm like, how do you get a permit? Like, how do you go about getting a permit, since like that's the area that everyone wants in Tennessee? Like, how do you get a permit there?
okay, so you went out, but I'm answer it like I did before real quick. So yeah, the permit.
How you get a permit?
Yeah, so the permit depends on the city or state, and basically you can go on pretty much the city or state's website. She's trying to show something. I can't see it. Unmute yourself.
You just go on the city's website, nashville.gov, and the permit fees and everything is listed on the website. Right. How to get the permit. They give you most of the stuff that you need for the permit. The only thing is that they'll give you a checklist and you got to check off all those things.
Exactly. So, and this is going to be in every city. So you just look up, you should go to the .gov website of the city, and they'll tell you what the short-term rental permits, requirements are. And basically what they give you is a checklist, and then you just have to make sure you do what's required. Like, I know they just introduced this in Texas. So right now, like, it was a simple, like, they asked like 3 questions, right? They didn't even really ask us for anything. So we had to fill out the paperwork and just email it in and then pay the fee. Certain areas like Nashville, they require a little more. And then also a way to bypass some of the permits, hopefully Nicola can still hear, is if you are in an Airbnb friendly building, for the ones that I know of, they actually do it for you. So you pay the fee for the permit and they'll handle everything. So if you're going into an Airbnb friendly building, then they'll handle it for you. But if you're getting an Airbnb in a city that requires a permit, then you have to make sure you do it yourself if it is required.
Thank you.
I will say this too. Let me talk about this too, about permits, right? It's also, you have to understand that there's different type of permits, right? So there's like something called owner occupied, right? So I keep that in mind. Owner occupied, right? This means the owner is occupying the space. Okay, I'm gonna just try to keep it in the simplest form. So with owner occupied, you have to be careful. So here's what I'm gonna say. Let's say if there's a building, right? And the building, let's say the city requires a permit and they require like owner occupied. Like if that means the owner of the property has to get the permit. So let's say there's a building with 50 apartments and you contact the property manager, the property manager say, yeah, you can do Airbnb here. And they say, go ahead, and you apply, they gave you permission, right? But the city is requiring the owner to get the permit. So you can run into trouble there because now you are renting the apartment, you're not the owner of the building. So in some cases, the owner of the building will have to go get the term for you. And how likely is it that the owner of the building is gonna say, yeah, let me take some time out for little old Jarrell to go get him a permit so he can do Airbnb. So you got to pay attention to that. Now, I know I see Catherine raising her hand like the kid.
No, because Nashville gives you the owner occupied and non-owner occupied option, and you can choose the non-owner.
Welcome to the panel. Right. You are officially invited to the panel. So so if you want to talk, so I was going to get to that next, but do you want to talk a little bit about the non-owner? I just want to make sure I covered the owner. And then I was going to get to the non-owner, but if you want to talk a little bit about the non-owner requirements. So just know if it's owner occupied, there's going to be certain requirements, but then there's non-owner occupied, and they tell you this is what, if you don't own the building, these are the things that you need to do to make sure you get the permit. I'm waiting for you to unmute.
Oh, me?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the panel.
Sorry, no, I wasn't trying to overpower you.
I love this. I love it. Go ahead.
It gives you the option to do owner occupied and non-owner occupied. The only thing about the non-owner occupied is when you're on the checklist, it asks you if you're going to be the responsible party, and if you are, you got to live or reside within 25 miles of the property that you're trying to rent out. So if you're going to do that, you just got to find a way to either have a responsible party in the area that you could utilize in the event that you need them or for the permit purpose. But for the owner occupied, all they need is their information. They're going to ask you for the property tax receipts. The website provides that. It's public record, so you can go on, like, it literally provides everything. The instructions are pretty clear, straightforward, and everything else is also like pretty straightforward. Like the floor plans, you could get that from the property manager or from the website. What else? You got your LLC, or the business entity, whatever you're using or whatever the case may be. And they're gonna need like proof of identity. And then you're gonna also need proof that you notified your neighbors or the adjacent. For the non-owner occupied, it's not like literally the people next to you, it's like the building across or the people, it's telling you to notify the building across the street from you and the people next to you. So, but they give you a checklist of everything on the website. And for us, we would just have to do the non-owner occupied. And I'm trying to figure out a way to get the responsible party, like how to get around that. If not, I will have to do it with a Airbnb friendly so they can provide the permit for me. But I am trying to see how I could get around that, because there are other apartment buildings that do offer or allow Airbnb in Nashville that aren't Airbnb friendly.
Okay, maybe once you form like a relationship even with a cleaner, maybe you can add them as the
Yeah, so that's what I was just thinking when you mentioned it.
yeah, and speak to them about it.
Yeah, so yeah. Or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
handy guy or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
This is why it's good to have great relationships. I always say your cleaners will make or break your business. If you can create a good relationship with cleaners, and if you give them the opportunity to put more money in their pockets, and they're willing to help you, so that's why, like, even with us, with our cleaners, like, we would randomly do like, hey, here's $50, get the team some coffee in the morning, just rent, we had a cleaner who got married, and we sent her a few $100, for a wedding gift, so we developed really good relationship with our cleaners, because these are the people that'll go, our cleaners. I have like one of my cleaners, she's a female, and she's like putting up beds and stuff for us, and changing batteries and climbing up ladders and bringing drills to like, she's doing all kind of stuff. But we develop good relations with them. So amazing question. Here's what I'm gonna do real quick. I see Anna wrote a question in the chat. It says, what software do you use for your finances? So I don't know if anybody else understands that question. Anna, if you're still on, when you say what software do you use for your finances, elaborate on that. And what kind of software, and what and
So I've heard of QuickBooks and different like Excel, using spreadsheets, Excel worksheets, and so on and so forth to calculate your expenses, budgeting, stay on top of it, have a visual data set or a dashboard to keep track of the numbers basically, and keep hold of the staff. Like, I want to know how much I'm spending in furniture, in utilities. I want to see that on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, a yearly, so I can see whenever the budget needs to be squeezed a little bit more, where to squeeze it from, like, so what software or apps are we using to gauge that? Anybody knows?
let me give a quick answer. Let me give the mentorship answer, then they can give whatever answers they have. So inside of the membership area, right? We didn't get to this. I know we was on a little earlier, but we didn't get to this part. But basically, inside of the membership area where you sign in at, there's a section that says documents, and under documents, you're gonna find two things. One is the profit calculator, right? In the profit calculator. So if you're calculating, like, how much I'm going to spend on furniture, or how much I'm going to be spending for rent, if you want to see if it's a profitable unit, you put everything in a profit calculator. That's going to tell you basically what your profits are going to look like, what your expenses are going to look like per month, right? The type of money you're going to be able to make, the extra money you're going to be able to make. And I'm actually going to be getting that profit calculator updated, because I wanted to do one other thing, right? So I'm going to have that done within the next week or so. So that's that. The other thing is you're going to find is the I'm trying to think of what I called it, the expense tracker. That's what it's called. So there's also something called the expense tracker in there. And in the expense tracker, you can put whatever units you have. Like for me, with us, we have our 12 units on this expense tracker. We put down all of our expenses. Every single month, we put down basically how much was the rent, how much we made on Airbnb for that month, how much did we pay for electricity, how much did we pay for parking, how much did we pay for this, how much we pay for that, and then it shows the profit. And then if we have partnership with somebody, then it also has the split breakdown. So what the partner would get, what I would get, what the partner would get, right? So we have that. It's already inside of the documents area in your membership area. So the same area where you would watch all of the videos, the courses, the master classes, it's going to be in that same exact area. And if anything else that you guys do, let her know. I'll be honest with y'all. I am a very like old school type of person. Like, your boy had a book. I had a book, and every month I was writing down, all right, cool, here's rent. And I was doing a math, pull up my calculator. I was doing that for a while until my boy hit me up. He's like, do you want me to create a spreadsheet for you? I'm like, spreadsheets, like it sounds complicated. Then he created for me. I'm like, oh, this is a blessing, right? So I mean, everybody's going to do it different ways, but I just want you to know what you have access to. And then there's, of course, there's all kind of software out there. So I don't know if any of you guys have a different answer.
I kind of do the same thing. I do for each of my units, I start with the budget spreadsheet, I call it. There's the amount I'm going with for this to set up this unit. And then as we start spending, I track it just to stay within my budget. And then I'll see how much I overspend or if I still within my budget. So that's what I usually first do when doing a new unit. And then for each unit as we go, pretty much the same thing that Jarrell said on another spreadsheet. For unit so-and-so, it'll show me, I'll list down the bookings, how much we made, the bills, so the expenses. And then, of course, I'll calculate the profit. And also if it's a unit that I'm partner up with somebody, I'll also calculate the split between me and that person. And then I have like I guess a master spreadsheet where I do or use for my taxes. So this is the one that I provide to my tax lady. And I pretty much just go through all my bank statements, list and highlight all of my expenses and put them in categories. So this was all supplies, this was all furniture, this was all bank fees, this was all cleaning. What else? Meals when traveling, right? Gas when traveling, airplane tickets when traveling. So I pretty much.
Wow. I don't
Tanisha,
even go that much else.
Tanisha, you off mute. So I pretty much just use like a master one and categorize all of my spendings, and that is what I provide to my tax person.
Great question. Great question. So I know Devon has, so Kathy, I'm going to take myself down. Catherine, I know you had another question. Feel free to go ahead and ask. And Devon, I'm gonna bring you back up and you ask your question right after her. And if you have multiple questions, just let me know and I'll keep you up.
Okay, so because it's a business, of course, so how do you guys, or if whoever wants to answer, how do you pay yourself? Do you because of course you can't commingle with the accounts or whatever the case may be, so you just gotta, how do you calculate what you're gonna pay yourself, and then how do you do that?
I can answer. What I do, I don't have a payroll system set up yet. I'm still like a year in. So it's pretty much new. I don't have a payroll system set up for myself, but whenever I do want to pay myself, whatever amount it is, I just transfer it from my business bank account, simple as a Zelle transaction, to my personal. And what I will put as the note will be an owner's withdrawal.
Come on, y'all. Come on with it. I just love it. I was waiting for you to say that. See, you guys make me feel so incredible that you guys are doing things the correct way. Yes. So if you do it that way, the owner withdrawal. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. Did anybody I have something to say about that too. Anybody else have something to say before Actually, no. Okay, cool. So y'all can do that. Another thing, that's what I do too. So sometimes if I need to like take some money out, then like if I need to take, it's a owner withdrawal, right? I also set up payroll. So I actually used Raisha, who's a part of the program. So she does a lot of our finances, right? She does our taxes and everything. So she has a payroll service. And with her payroll service, basically for our businesses, we put ourselves on payroll. So I'm a W-2. So I have my my short-term rental company, right? And myself and Yvonne, right? We're on payroll for that. So we get paid a check every single week, right? We could decide if it's one every week, every 2 weeks, every month. We just do every week, and we are W-2, right? We got W-2 pays. And then for my mentorship program, I'm also on payroll for my mentorship program as a W-2 employee, right? And that has so many benefits, you guys. Like so many benefits to it. I can go on and on, but I will tell you this, right? It gives me the benefits on both halves. So I never have a problem. Dang, I think I'm gonna take it there. I never have a problem getting approved for anything, whether it be something where it requires me to make a lot of money or something where it requires me to make a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to qualify for some income-based apartments, hey, I only make X amount of it. Here's I'm W-2 employee, right? So I like having payroll services is just so dope. And then also as a business, because we make so much money with our short-term rental company, right? Then having people on payroll, like the write-offs that we get because of that, the tax rates we get because of having payroll, like having employees, right? There's gonna be many benefits. So there's like so many benefits on both ends. Like you're paying taxes as an employee. And then you're getting the tax breaks as a business owner that has employees, right? So it's so many different things. I would highly advise that you speak to a tax professional. I would also highly advise that if you are part of the program, every second Monday of the month, we have our tax call, and you can ask those direct questions, or you can also set up a call with her. And you don't necessarily have to do it through her. I mean, you can go through wherever you want, but that's the person that I trust that's inside the program. So you guys, anybody wants to set up payroll services, I don't remember the exact amount that I pay per month because I have it for like 2 businesses, it just automatically comes out my account. But I could, just let me know and I'll make sure that you guys can connect with Raisha and then have that conversation with her. And if it's something you want to move forward, you can. All
So do
right.
you also have your cleaners on payroll or no?
So you can, it really depends.
You have to ask them, right?
Huh?
You would have to ask them how
Yeah,
they
you can talk to them. It's a little, can you do it? Yes, right? So the answer is absolutely. Can you do it? Would it be great? Yeah, that'll be the greatest thing to do. Most of them will want to be 1099, to be honest. And then remember, sometimes the changeover is so like fast. That's the other headache, like, just changing over. So can you do it? Yes. I don't know. I'm not a tax expert. I don't claim to be a tax expert, and nor is any of this tax advice. But I would just talk to my tax person and say, hey, what is it better for me to pay my cleaners as a 1099, do I 1099 them, or do I put them on like payroll, right? Like I would ask that and just see what's better and then see what makes more sense for you. For me, as far as time and as far as what I was doing before I started to understand any of this, I was already like zelling them, like just sending them Zells. So I was like, I would do the 1099 because that's what I was doing from the beginning. But it doesn't mean that it's the best option. Like I said, I would just ask these, like this is a question that I would ask on that tax Monday call, or that I would set up a call with Raisha and I would ask her these specific calls. Or if you have your own tax person, I would ask, that's a great question to ask.
Okay. Last thing up to that. So do you guys save for your quarterly taxes, or how do you do that?
That's going to be I wouldn't answer that here because that's going to be all personal. You can people do their taxes quarterly. Some people do at the end of the year. It just really depends, and it all depends on your goals. So when we talk about taxes, once again, I'm not a tax expert and this is not tax advice. But it all depends on what your goal is. Like if your goal is like, man, I'm about to write off everything. Like I don't want to make zero. Like at the end of this, I'm gonna write, it's gonna be a loss every year, then you're not gonna really pay taxes if you're writing off the right stuff, if you're doing things the right way. There's many things that you can set up, like nonprofit. We can go deep. This can go deep, right? So there's many things that you can do to where every year it's like, I ain't making no money, right? So I'm not really paying the taxes, or you're paying minimal taxes. But then there's other people that say, well, I want to get funding at some point. So I want to make sure that I'm making some money. So I want to show that I'm making money, right? So now if you want to show what you're actually making or something, and so what you want to do is you may want to pay it quarterly so you don't have to wait to the end of the year and you're paying such hot, because you're supposed to pay taxes, right? But the tax code is designed for wealthy people, it's designed for entrepreneurs. So you just have to decide, like, what is your goal in this business? Is my goal to just run short-term rental businesses and just keep as much of the money as humanly possible? So I want to write off every single expense. I want to find ways to write it off so I don't have to pay, so I can pay as little taxes as possible. Or, hey, my goal is eventually to go purchase a community and get funding for that. So I need to show that I'm making profits. I need to show that I'm growing every year. I need to show these things, because now if that's the case, then you need to be operating a little bit different when it comes to, preparing for paying your taxes, right? So once again, I would say talk to an expert, let them know this is what I plan to do, or this is where I am right now. This is where I see myself going with the company. And that's how you're going to depend on like how you want to pay your taxes, what you want to do, the strategies that you want to use, right? I would like, that's the best way I can answer that question. But that is also, once again, it's going to be there is no right answer for that. And by the way, don't let nobody convince you that you should be doing certain, you should, like, one thing that I don't like saying like hate, but what I dislike is if you say, hey, what's better, an LLC or a corporation? And they automatically say, well, corporation or this, and they just do it based on their beliefs about the entity. No, it's going to be based on what you're looking to do with your business, what you're trying to accomplish. What do you want to do when it comes tax time? What is your long-term goals? All of that, like when you picking your type of entity that you're going to have, how you're going to do your taxes, all of that plays a part of what you're looking to do, what are your goals with your business, what's your intention with the business, and then you can make a decision before we decide to do, because I have LLCs, I have C corps, right? I have different entities, and it's just really dependent on the business and what my goal is to do, what my goal is with that business, right? So just don't make a decision based on person's bias. I want to ask my questions, and based on the questions I asked you and based on the things I told you about my business, tell me what's the best route for me to do based on what I just asked. Right. So I just want to put that out there, by the way. All right. So you stand up on the panel, Kathy, or you because I know she probably not even a third.
I know Devon has a question.
Yeah, I'm about to look at she's orchestrating it too. This is unbelievable. Well, listen, y'all, with the next call of the Insiders Club, we're going to have Kathy breaking down something. Go ahead, Devon.
No, it's a short one. I was just curious, and this could be to anybody that have units, like, what do you pay your cleaners? I mean, like, I know you talked about Zelle and different ways you pay them. It could be 1099, it could be the other way, but how do you come about a number that they are comfortable with too, that that do you partners with others asking them questions, or was it just through your own survey that you decided that you came up with, this is the number I'm going to pay my cleaners?
So what I do first, I do ask them and see what they have to say, like what are they asking for the service, and then I go back and say, well, hey, this is what we can pay. And then from there, we either say, well, it's not going to work with us, it's not going to work out, I'll look for someone else. Or maybe we can come and negotiate to a close on number where we can meet in the middle for their services. As of right now, I have a cleaner where I pay $80 per their service, and another cleaner that I pay $85 for their service.
That's for just the day, right? Just for the day?
Yeah, for each cleaning, after each cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add on to Carmen, you can, I try to go like 2 or 3 cleaners in an area and kind of ask them the questions about, how they're going to clean, and, give them our spiel about what we're looking for. And then, of course, like Carmen said, same thing, ask what their price is, and if it's in a range that we believe makes sense as far as what they're going to provide and do. And you know, I ask for like reviews and stuff like that to make sure that it's legit, then we can move forward that way. So I think, you know, you can also just kind of shop around as well when you're trying to find like the nice price. Like you could have somebody that say, oh, 80, and then somebody can go down like 70, or, you know, someone's 90, and then you just see what they doing, what they have been doing, if they're able to share any of that. And if the $90 makes sense because they're doing all the extra super fantastic job, you can go through with it even if you rather pay less, because you do get what you pay for and things like that. So you want to be mindful of that. But Carmen did a great job. I just wanted to add on to that. I think I have an $80 cleaner and I have a $65 cleaner. And the $65 cleaner goes extremely hard. And I'll be looking at her, giving her a tip sometime, like, that's the highest you want to charge. But you know, she's just, you know, been in it a while. And I don't know. I think one day she will increase, but because she's been doing it that way for so long, that's just her price. But again, you know, looking at her work and the team that she has and stuff like that, you also want to make sure. That was a good tip Carmen mentioned earlier. It's like, all right, there's a head person, but what about the team members that's under them? Are they cleaning the same? So you want to ask that. And then you can, you know, more options are better in my opinion as well.
I agree. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it.
I will also say, Devon, looking at Airbnb listings, like in your surrounding area, and see what other hosts are charging for cleaning fees as well. That will also help you, because if someone, let's say you're in an area where they're charging $200, everybody's charging like $200, $250 for cleaning fees, and then your cleaner's only charging you $80, then, you know, that's good. You have the difference to, you know, as extra money per cleaning. But you always want to stick around what other people are charging in the area. So if this area is charging $200, my cleaner's charging me $80, I'm gonna list my unit with a $200 cleaning fee just to match everybody else, pay out the $80 and pocket the $120 as extra money.
Very good, very good. All right, cool. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna interrupt this for a public service announcement real quick. So if you guys have been watching this and you are watching this online, all of the persons that you are seeing, hearing from are a part of the Insiders Club mentorship. Some are actually a part of the mastermind, all under the employee exit plan mentorship program, right? So if you want to learn more about the program, there's a few things that you can do. One of the easiest and best ways that you can learn more about the program is you can actually come on our free workshop that usually happens on Thursdays. And if you want to come and get access to that, just go to www.employeeexitplan.com, right? Another thing you can do is you can find me on Instagram at J Dinkins, Dinkins, and I'll make sure some of our hosts actually give their social media as well. If you want to look them up, follow them, and connect with any of us to get more information on the program. All right. So back to the regular schedule. Y'all like how I put that commercial in it? That was really clever of me. Right. I'll just pat myself in the back for that. Right. In any case, all right. So by the way, y'all, we really build this like a family. So if you see us, we're talking, we're joking, we're interacting with each other. This is not like a traditional mentorship. We really look to build like a family, and that's how we communicate, right? I just want to touch on something when it comes to the cleaners real quick, y'all. Your cleaning fee is a great way to make extra money. So I want to make sure you guys know that. So when you have a cleaning fee, you want to find, you never want to charge your guests the same amount that your cleaner is charging you to clean the unit. So if your cleaners charge you $100 to clean a unit, don't put your cleaning fee as $100. Yes, of course, that's going to take care of it. You know, you're paying your cleaners, but that's a great way to make extra income. So let me give you like some simple numbers that'll make sense to you, right? So you can see how much extra money you can make off of your cleaning fee. So, and this is true, right? Actually, I'm gonna give you a real live one right now. So for 4 of my units, I charge $100 cleaning fee. Okay. Now I've had several cleaners, but my current cleaner charges me $60. Now that's not the price I told her to charge me. That's the price that she decided to charge. In fact, she was charging a little bit less, and we actually said we'll pay you a little bit more. So we're paying her $60 per clean, but we're charging $100 as a cleaning fee. So every single time we have a booking, the guest is going to pay $100, and we're gonna have to take $60 out of that 100, and we have to give that to our cleaner. That leaves us with $40. So with our units, we average 10 bookings per month. So 10 times every month, that exact process is happening. So 10 times per month, we're being left with $40. So 10 times 40, that's $400 per month per unit that we're making extra, right? On top of what we charge on a nightly rate. So at 4 units, 4 times 400, that is what, 4, 8, 12, $1,600 per month additional income, okay? So a cleaning fee is a great way to make extra money. My goal is to make at least $25 per booking off of my cleaning, right? So if my cleaner is charging me $75, then I don't want to charge anything less than $100 for a cleaning fee. So I try to find that good balance in there where I can make some sort of profit off of my cleanings. Okay. Now here's what you don't make the mistake of. If everybody, like Carmen and Ashley was saying, if everybody in this area is charging about $100, right? Don't be the person to charge, well, they charging 100, but my cleaner's charging me 90, so I'm going to charge 120, right? You might mess yourself up. People might not want to book with you because they feel like you're overcharging on the cleaning fee. So you got to find a good, a good medium, okay? As far as what you're going to charge. So real quick, and I know, by the way, if any of the hosts, if you guys have to leave, that is totally fine. Do me a favor before you leave, make sure you go ahead and come on here. I know you wrote it in the chat, but I want you to say it just in case somebody doesn't see it. Just come in here and say your IG, how to connect with you on Instagram real quick. And then we'll keep going with some questions. But if you guys have to leave, I know you guys have some things that you need to do. Feel free to go ahead and do that.
Hi, guys. I have to go. This has been great, though, and I hope I was very helpful to all of you. Again, my name is Ashley. I actually have 2 accounts. One is my hair account, is at Hairventions, HAIRVENTIONZ. And then my other account is Miss Success, so it's MISS_SUHCESS. That's how you can link me, you can follow me, you can see what I have going on, and we can connect that way. And if you have any other questions, I hope you all have a great night. Thank you.
Later.
We appreciate it.
Carmen? If
Can
you
you
want to
hear
say,
me?
just say, I just want you to say your actually say your Instagram out loud, because on the recording, if somebody's watching it, they won't be able to see the chat.
Okay. I think it's like cutting up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I can, am I cutting up, y'all? Go in the chat, let me know. Can you guys hear me clear?
Okay.
We can hear.
I can hear you now. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I still I could stay about 10 more minutes. But my Instagram name, guys, is +lookup. So +positive_LOOKUP. +_lookup.
All right, perfect. So let's get back. Raise your hands. I'm gonna go ahead and bring back up Miss Scroll herself. Let me stop messing with you. All right, so go ahead. I know you got another question somewhere up in there, Kathy.
I do. I have like 3. But no, I know we spoke about this before, but I wanted to get like a very maybe another perspective, because I don't think Carmen was there when we asked this question. Are you still profiting during slow seasons? And or is it like really tough? Just like an honest answer. you know, are you still profiting during the slow season, or have you had to come out like a lot out of pocket often during the slow season?
So my first slow season was literally this past winter. I have a unit in Fort Worth, Texas, where I didn't get affected at all with the slow season. Like I was still fully booked. I have Airbnb, I have Verbal to use on that unit, but I'm not gonna say the profit was a lot or as much as, you know, during the busy season, it was lower. Could be $500, $400 around there for me in those 2 months of the low season. Then I have some units in Nashville. In those 2 months, I did get affected with the low season and I did had to come out of pocket. So there was a month where I came out, honestly speaking, $1,000 out of pocket. Then there was a month that was like $500 out of pocket. But it was just for those 2 months. Other than that, everything else we have had
And
profit.
that's like, is that December, January?
It was for December and January. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's reasonable.
Perfect. And I want to make sure we ask the difficult questions too, because everything ain't all peachy when it comes to the short-term rental business. Remember, a business is a business, okay? And you have to treat it like a business. Now, I want to go on and say some things about that. If you guys don't mind, I take a few minutes and talk about this because this is very important. All right. I want to say a few things. The first thing I'm going to say is it's important to never make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. I'll say it again. Never make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. Seasons are seasons, right? Just like the winter, spring, summer, fall, right? You never go through summer. And when you got, and then when after summer, what's after summer? Fall, right? After summer comes fall, and the fall come, you're like, that's it. I can't deal with this. Summer's not here. I'm done. Like summer will be back. Like it will definitely be back, right? It's a season. So a slow season is a slow season. You're gonna go through. It's business. But I want you to think about it like this. And I'm gonna give you based on my knowledge and the location of my units. I'm gonna tell you the breakdown month to month of what slow season, high season. Right? I'm gonna break it down in a second, right? But I lost my thought. Jeez, I lost my thought. I wanted to make a point and I lost it, but it's okay. I'll come back to it. All right. So let me go ahead and give you the seasons, then it'll come back to me. Okay. So the low season, let's start where we at. We're in July, right? So let's start from July. July and August are like really good months, probably going to be your most profitable months. So this is definitely the high season. Okay. Now what happens is in September, it typically dips down. Now you still may make profit, but it's going to be like a weird type of thing. So let's say if your profit is like $1,500 in August, and you're like, man, this is a great month, $1,500 in profit. September, it may look like 400, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's happening, right? So you got to understand, people are getting back to work. People are, their kids are going back to school, right? So they're like, all right, we had our fun. And August, they're like trying to get those last minute trips out. They're taking trips, they're traveling, they're spending the money, but then right away, right back to school. Now, for some reason in October, people are like, man, this school thing ain't it. This work thing ain't it. Let's go back on vacation. So they're going to get that last vacation. So in October, typically it's going to shoot back up a little bit, right? Now, what's going to happen is November, it's going to go back down. December and January, November, December, January. Those are going to be that's the scary season, y'all. That's when you're going to get a little nervous because you're like, oh, shoot. Like, why I ain't making as much money? Oh, what? We just broke even. I got to pay a few $100s, right? So this is where I say never make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. And I caught my point that I was trying to make. If I have 3 months, let's say 3 months, I have to come out of pocket. And let's just say for number's sake, let's make it even. Let's call it $500. Let's say $500. I had to come out from my property for 3 months. That's $1,500 for that one property. but the other 9, I made profit. I don't even have to know the numbers to know that it still makes sense as a business, right? So don't look at 3 months in a row. You like, I came out of pocket. This is it. I'm shutting down the unit. How much is it to get out? Now you're paying money to get out the unit. And if you just held for like another month or two, it would have flipped back over, right? So always think about that. And this is why it's good. Like when Anna asked the question of the expense trackers, those sheets. This is why it's important to do that, because it's a simple look. You might be feeling discouraged, like, oh my goodness, I came out of pocket for 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case is. But if you look at it, you say, well, all right, cool. Well, on those other months, I made $15,000 and I just lost 1,500. All right, I can deal with it, right? It'll come back. So let me go ahead and just give you let me just run down the months all around real quick, just to make it make sense. So July, August, great months. September, it's going to go down, but you're still most likely going to be profitable. October is going to shoot back up again and give you that last bit of like, wow, this is some great money. November, December, January, these are the months that you're going to watch out for, because they're going to be the lower months. These are months that you're going to make the lowest profits. These are months where you're going to break even. These are months where you may even come out of pocket, right? I like to call February, I said November, December, January. Yep. I like to call February the crossover month. This is when it's crossing over from low season to high season. So now it's like, it's making that transition, and you're like, oh, what? Okay, back in the profits. Like, you don't care what you made. Like, you just excited to be in profits. It's like you're looking at $500, $400. Listen, for some of y'all, 150, like, woo, baby, this is it, baby. We going to paradise, right? And then when you get into March and April, like, that's regular season. Now, here's what happens in March and April. It's like, now it's going to look like it normal. Like, if your normal profits are like 1,000, it's going to look like normal. You're like, wow, this is pretty good. And the great thing is, by the time you get to April, if you search the units like we tell you to search, April, they're going to start booking out May, June, July, and August. People are going to start booking. Like, you're going to, all of a sudden, every minute, your weekends are getting booked up. You're like, yo, what is going on? Like, something is happening. This is when people are ready to book. They're planning their summers out. They're booking everything, all right? So then once you go past April, you got May, June, July, August. Those are high seasons. Get your money, take your trips, have some fun, because the money's going to be coming in. Somebody go in the chat and type the money's coming, right? Somebody type the money is coming, because that's where the money's going to come in. Now, let's talk a little bit about strategy. When we first, so this past season was the first, we've been in Airbnb for a little over 2 years. But this last slow season was our first slow season where we were paying so high in rent, right? So the first time we went through the slow season, we were in Nashville and we had units in Texas. Texas wasn't affected, which is why I love Texas, by the way, right? Our Nashville units, we were paying like $1,900 a month in rent. So when we went through the low season, we was making $1,000, y'all. We was out here stunting like my daddy. Like, we was out here like, what? So what? Slow season? That ain't nothing. I made $1,000. We out here like talking like we big stuff. And then when we renewed our release, they said, yeah, you're not gonna pay $1,900, $3,500, please. Now we was doing the math like, well, we still should be making a profit. So we went from having 2 units paying about $1,900 in rent to having 5 units paying $3,500 in rent per unit. So when we went through the slow season, the strategy that we had, it didn't make sense. This is what you do as a business, you adjust. So the first strategy that we had in place, which is a really good strategy to have during the high season, is this. If it is April or May, right? And we know high season, June, July, August, what I would do is for June, July, and August, I would slightly raise my prices above what I really want. So if I'm charging, and these are true charges, like in Nashville, if I'm charging $500 a night right now, I may put it at $599 a night, $549 a night for the next 3 months. If I'm charging, and that's on a weekend, if on a weekday I'm charging, let's say, $259 a night, on a weekdays, a month out, 2 months out, 3 months out, all the way up to August, I may charge $315 a night. Because now I'm saying, listen, I got a hot unit. If you want it, you want to book it in advance, you want to lock my unit up in advance, you're going to pay more for it. Now, that is a great strategy to have to make more money during the high season. The problem is that is not a great strategy to have during the low season, and we figured that out last year. So here's the adjustment you want to make for all of my people who are hosts, especially the people that are in Nashville. You got these high rents, right? I would do the exact opposite. So now, right now, while it is in high season, I would go out to those the low season months, your September, your November, your December, your January, and I would make my prices competitive right now. So if they looked at my unit right now and they looked at my area and they see people are charging $500, $600 a night and $350 a night, but now they go to plan like now I'm catering to my planners, the people that book 3 months in advance, 4 months in advance. We got people booking October. Like I just got a booking for October while we was on this call, right? So somebody just booked, it says, look, I'm gonna tell you, these are the last bookings I just got today, right? Somebody just booked November 26th to the 29th. Somebody just booked, I just saw October booking come in. Where's it at? Where's it at? I'm trying to scroll down. Somebody just booked October. I sent out a bunch of messages. So I just got an October booking and I just looked a few minutes ago, I got a November booking, right? So now we're going to make the prices competitive. So instead of charging more, we're going to charge a little bit less. So now the person that's looking in advance saying, hey, we need to lock down a unit. They see some great prices compared to what the prices look like right now. Now they book it out. Now the advantage is now when we get to the slow season, I have most of my dates booked up versus how it looked last year where a lot of my dates wasn't booked. So I had to keep lowering the price. And instead of making, $200 per night on these bookings, now I'm making $65 a night, $69 a night. And now I'm not making enough to cover all of my expenses and make profits. But if I had lowered the prices far enough in advance, then I would have made the money. So right now, what everybody should be doing is you should be making your prices competitive, right? Meaning you don't want to have your prices way up, for the low season. Have it lower, but make sure you have it to a point where you're going to make sure you make profits. So I know for me, if I make $200, $300 a month in a slow season for my units, I'm totally okay with that because I know, my units, right? One of my units in the building where we are in Nashville, it did $8,400 this month, right? You pay your expenses, $3,500, pay your cleaners, $800, a little extra for the razzle dazzle. You spend, let's say you call it $4,500. I'm still up $3,900 in profit for that unit. The other unit did $7,900. Another unit did $7,600. Another unit is $7,500. Another unit is $7,400. Lowest unit in that book. I don't know. I might have mixed up one of those numbers, but the lowest unit in that building did 60. I think it was like 6,700. My lowest one in that building, and that profit, let's just call it $4,000, $4,500. If I did 65, that's still $2,000 in profit, right? So you got to understand. I don't mind making $200, $300 for 3 months when I know what my high seasons look like, when I know what my normal season look like, my normal months look like. All right. So just once again, if you guys can take anything from that, never make a permanent decision in a temporary situation, and also seek counsel, right? Also seek counsel. Don't be afraid to come in this chat. If you are a part of the mentorship, go in the chat and ask a question. Hey, y'all, this is what it looked like in the last month. Don't be embarrassed, y'all. This is business. Hey, y'all, the last 2 months I had to come out of pocket $400. Can somebody help me? Hey, reach out to me. Hey, Jarrell, this is what's happening in my business, right? Seek counsel. I may just say, hey, just stick it out for another month. It's the slow season. Everything's going to flip back over, right? If you can hold, you're going to make that money back, right? So it's just business. Hopefully that made sense. All right. So, Catherine, you another one? Let me, oh no, wait, Catherine, let's go through the chat real quick. All right. So Tanisha says, do you use Price Labs? Anybody use Price Labs?
That's generally to calculate. It's like AirDNA.
Yeah. So I'll give you I don't want to speak first, but I'll speak on it. So
more housing market kind of.
Yeah, I don't use it.
Okay. All right. Let me give you. This is just my opinion. Once again, that's going to be one of those things that if it brings value to you, you can. I use Price Labs at the beginning of my journey, with short-term rentals, and I thought it was going to be a cool thing. I set it all up, had it attached to all my units, and I found that in the months that I had Price Labs, I was making a lot lower. than I was making when I was controlling my own pricing, because majority of my units are in Nashville, and we realized that we don't furnish like a typical unit, therefore we don't charge like a typical unit. So Price Labs was setting my prices to be a lot lower on days. Like there was days where I could have made like $250 a night, and I made like $69, and I just wasn't okay with that. So after you know, at first I set it up and I was like, okay, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Second month, it was like, it wasn't really it. The third month, I was like, yeah, we're not doing this another month. And literally the very next month after I turned it off, our profits went back up. So I personally don't use Price Labs. It could be because of my locations and the way that we furnish it, that it's not beneficial for me. So we would rather control our pricing. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be beneficial for you, because you may not, you know, maybe one of the areas that you have to work on is your pricing. I think we do pretty well when it comes to pricing and watching our units, and it's not a headache for us, right? That's another thing you got to think of. Like if you're a person that's like, man, I don't even want the headache of controlling my pricings. I just want to make profits. Like if I could be hands off, I don't care what I make as long as it's profitable, then go ahead and, you know, use Price Labs. Or you can try it and see if it works. Like if it's working for you, if they're pricing better than you, if you're making more money using it, then use it. For us, it wasn't as beneficial. Okay. How many months do you open the calendars up for? So that's also going to be dependent on you. For some of our units like Nashville, we was having it at like 90 days, right? First, because we didn't want people to book in advance, and then like so there's dates like, so for instance, there's like the Country Music Awards. Now we know when the Country Music Awards happen, so we can plan it out. But there's certain holidays and concerts that come in, and we don't want to have it open, and then somebody finds out that who went there lately? What's her name? I was about to say Hannah Montana. It's a that ain't Hannah Montana. It's a what's her name? What's the Miley Cyrus. There you go. Miley Cyrus went there, man. Look, y'all do not judge me, okay? So she went there, did a concert. Like you can charge like $700-800 a night, $900 a night for one bedroom on those nights. So you had your calendar open, and you got like the Miley Cyrus fans that are like, what? She's gonna be in Nashville, and they book your unit for $99 per night, right? So we would keep it like three months, so it wouldn't be too far out, so we can kind of read the calendar. That was at the beginning. Now, because we're going into the slow season, I did open my calendars up for 6 months because I want to get those bookings in advance. And plus the season I am in my life overall, I'm in the automated season. I'm in the season of, hey man, whatever. I don't mind losing out on a little bit of money personally, right? This is just personal. I don't mind losing out on a little bit of money if it costs me less headaches. That's just me. So right now, I'm like, man, put it on autopilot, like whatever. Like I'm just not the person that's going to go in there right now and look up every single event date, look up every single holiday and be like, all right, like the ones I know off the top, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go and change those, but I ain't gonna pay that much attention to it. I just want to be profitable, and I want to make money and feel like I don't have to do nothing. Like I enjoy that, but it took me a while to get there. I was the person that I watched every time my phone, like every day when I first got my Airbnbs, I'm like, ooh, baby, like I'm watching every minute. Now I rarely ever. Sometimes I forget to give people their codes. I got to get better, y'all. I promise I got to get better, right? But I just like to be hands off. Okay, so we have a system in place. It's automated. I'm hands off, and I don't really stress that. So for me, I would have my calendar open for 6 months because I just want people to book it, right? And I do my prices for a few months every single time anyway. Okay. So this question connects to how we pay ourselves. Obviously. All right, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything up, and I'll come back down.
Yeah, that was a few up in the beginning, I think, with Anna.
All right, I'm going.
Owner withdrawal still pay taxes on it.
Oh, okay. Owner withdrawal. All right. All right, owner withdrawal still pay taxes on it. I think she asked a question right before that too. What software, right? Owner withdrawal. I think she's talking about in regards to the cleaners. No, owner withdrawals. Owner withdrawals. Do you still pay taxes on owner withdrawals, right? So once again, that is going to be technically, yes, you pay taxes on everything, right? But it's also going to be how you write off, like how you do your taxes.
Yeah.
But The answer is yes, you pay taxes on freaking everything. Of course, there's ways around taxes, but anytime you make money, you gonna pay taxes unless you have done certain things to put you in position to get tax breaks. That is the legal answer, right? So yes, on a withdrawal, you are supposed to pay taxes on it. Once again, talk to a tax professional just to make sure. For me, I don't mind. I take owner withdrawals because I know my my tax plan. Like I know my plan. It's worked. It's working. I do my taxes every year, and it's incredible, right, for us.
Yeah, the same for me. Like what I do is I add it on my spreadsheet when I do my taxes, and I just give the information to my tax person. They handle it.
There you go, man. Hey, listen, man. I submit to all of you guys that you live like Anna just said. I just give my stuff to this person and they handle it. Everybody say, everybody say this to yourself. Oh, I give it to my team and they handle it. Just say they handle it. Everybody, just say they handle it.
They handle it.
This is that. Like we all got to get to the point. Hey man, hey, what time your flight leave? I don't know, man. I gave it to my secretary and they handle it and they'll tell me, right? Hey, what time you get to the restaurant? I don't know. I just know I got to beat the driver downstairs at 7:00 and the driver gonna handle it. They get me like everything. They gonna handle it, y'all. Hey, what you wear? Hey, what you wearing tonight to the event? I don't know, man. I got my stylist. She got a bunch of things handed out. Like when I get there, I mean, I'm pretty sure she'll handle it. Right? Come on, y'all. Let's go. I'm just trying to make sure we on that we on the right frequency up in here.
Yeah.
Let me see something. How about putting personal money into a business bank account? How about putting personal money into business bank account? Anybody want to answer?
Well, you initially have to do this anyway when you're opening a business bank account. That's called your capital or your business investment money. So you're doing that to begin with. But then as far as it goes, like I do know, like I mentioned to Catherine, I had to come out of pocket twice during the low season. So of course I did put personal money into my business account, which is also an expense because I went to paying a rent. So you're gonna write that off as an expense anyways. But I also do advise to ask a tax person as well, an expert on this a bit more, because I even heard that you can loan yourself money from your personal to your business as a loan. You have to document it and maybe like have a contract in place or something, but I don't know much about it. So you definitely will, want to find out some more information on that.
Catherine, you know about you look like you know something about that. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah. You would write an agreement saying that you're loaning your business as an individual. You're only loaning at your LLC a loan, the amount, the date, and when you would be paying it or whatever the case may be. And yeah, so it would be as a loan.
I think we should officially change your name in the Discord
Thank
to
you.
welcome to the panel. It's no longer we gonna call you welcome to the panel. That's your new name. What's up? Welcome to the panel. Let's see what else we have here. Shanae, do you put the note on your Zelle, the cleaners? Like, how do you put on a withdrawal? Yeah, I always put a note and I put like exactly what I'm paying them out for. I put so I pay my cleaners basically from the 1st to the 15th, including the 15th, and then from the 16th to the last day of the month. That's how I pay my cleaners. I pay them twice a month. And so when I'm paying them, I make sure I put cleanings, whatever city or whatever, and then I put 1st to the 15th, and then I pay them out. So that's how I notate mine. All right.
I do mine since I pay them after their cleanings. I just put cleaning service. If it's like multiple in one building, I'll put cleaning service unit, 332, 625, something like that.
Awesome. Did you have another question, Catherine? Excuse me, welcome to the panel.
Be nice. Oh, so did you guys create, or Carmen or whoever wants to answer, did you guys create a website for your business before listing, or do you think that's something like you could do as you go? Is that something mandatory you should do before you start setting up a unit? Or because that's literally like the only thing I don't have. I have everything else. I have, like my business plan. I have the LLC, have my domain, have logos, I have like, you know, like the business, the website, the phone number, everything. But I didn't make a website because initially when I did file for my LLC, it was for wholesale. So technically my LLC was only a holding business. It was a holdings business. So now that it's not anymore, now it's listed as in others, of course, for the property management. How would I go about making the website, or is it necessary right now?
Well, you don't need a website to list your unit on Airbnb. You can, once you get the approval and everything is okay, everything is set up to go, you can
So they
actually
don't
just
look at your
list it.
web to see if you
So
have.
Airbnb won't look at your website. Yeah, so you
Well,
don't.
what about
need
the property management? Like to
Now,
check if you're.
the property management, it depends on them. Like the ones that I've done, they never ask for a website. Even though I have a website, they never asked for it, so I didn't share it. Now, I would say, like, if you're going more with like the private landlord route instead of property management, they would probably want to see more information from you, and they might want to search you up and look for a website. So I think that will come very handy, especially for those private landlords. But in my experience with the property managers, I have not, had to use my website with them.
And did you, or may I ask what service you use to create your website?
I use GoDaddy.
Oh, okay, that's where I got my domain. But they make websites too?
They do, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so let me say a few things real quick on that. So yep, I have mine right from GoDaddy. There's like, you can literally create it, like you can do it in like a few minutes. So ours is like a front, like it's just to have something up there.
Yeah, a landing
So-
site. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. And it's, you can do it yourself right on GoDaddy. I literally sat with Yvonne and we sat here for 20 minutes. She's like, oh, I can do it. Like your boy, I wouldn't have been able to figure it out, even as simple as it is. But we sat there. She took like a few. We already had a few units. That was the great thing about it. So she took a few of our units. We took a few pictures, put it up there. We went to About Me and we sat there. And she was like, all right. And I was like, oh, we are whatever company. What we look to do is this. And she wrote it down. And then she put, we put like our booking site. What we did was we actually put an affiliate link in there. So if people want to learn more, we put an affiliate link that led to a course that we took, and we just had it up there. So just in case, like honestly, a building, and a bank, this is like, banks will do this too, by the way. Right now, banks are even looking at your Instagrams and stuff. They look at your social media, right? So they're gonna look at it just to see if you have it up, but it's not like, I don't think any of the buildings they determined if we could do it based on our website. I don't remember ever giving anybody my website, to be honest, but we do, once again, we do have it. We have it through GoDaddy, and it took literally a few minutes to put it up. So I would take some pictures, you could probably get some general pictures online, put some nice looking pictures up, say what, come up with like a purpose statement, put some contact information in there, put your business information, get your email up there, put an About Me, what you and your company does, put some general information up there, and call it a day, right? Call it a day. Just, you can have it up there, but it is also not mandatory. So I will tell you guys this, I am going to take another one or two. Maybe you guys have questions, we'll take some more questions. I know Carmen, I don't know if you I know you was coming towards the end of the
I gotta
road.
go.
All right. So you want any departing words for the people?
I just want to say that your questions were great, guys. You guys are doing amazing. We are here to support you guys. Definitely reach out to any of us if you have any other questions. And you guys got it. Let go of the fear. Take the risk. If you don't let go and jump and, take that leap of faith, you're never gonna grow or actually take advantage of all the benefits and blessings this is gonna bring into your life.
Awesome. We appreciate you, and we hope that you have a great night. Carmen. All right, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is Man, listen, your boy is here. So if you have some more questions, I'll stay and make sure I get some questions answered. So let me do this quick, another in our last commercial. Okay. I like to call these commercials so funny. I'm sorry, I cracked myself up if you guys haven't noticed. All right. So real quick, I just want to talk about, we talked about the Insiders Club. I just want to talk about real quick the mastermind program that we have. So if you're watching this and you're watching this video, a part of the employee exit plan mentorship program, you have two main levels. You have the Insiders Club, which is our most popular level. It is the level where you're going to get access to so many things. So just off the top of my head, we have like 6 different things going on. You're going to have access, direct access to myself and some of the other coaches. You're going to also have access to our video library or our membership area. We call it both. And basically that's where you're going to have access to all of the different courses, master classes. And it's not just on Airbnb short-term rental. It's on many different industries that you can build passive and semi-passive income. So we have courses and master classes on tour road, trucking, trading, taxes, credit, podcasting, mental health awareness, how to start your business, e-commerce, so many different things, creating funnels, chat GPT, so many different things that you're going to have access to, right? So it's not just Airbnb short-term rental. So it's over 100 different modules at this point. And that is the stuff, that is the videos that you're gonna be able to watch on your own time. The third thing that you have access to is our weekly calls. Every week we have 1 to 3 coaching calls. So we have calls like Mondays, on Tuesdays, once or twice a month, we have special guests come in and they speak on the industries that they are dominant in, right? These are 6- and 7-figure monthly earners coming in to teach us on various industries. The fourth thing you have access to is our Discord. That is our group chat. Your daily conversations. You have questions, you can always go in there. The fifth thing you have access to is we do 1 to 3 mastermind events or trips every year. So the first one kind is a conference. We did that in April. It was a 1-day conference, and we always do some fun after that. So after the conference, we also had a yacht party. We had a 200 passenger yacht party. It rode all around New York City. We had a blast. So we did the conference during the day. We had some fun at night. We also did a retreat style where we went to Atlanta. We got a mansion and we had a fun weekend. We did like a dinner. We did like a pool event. We had like the barbecue. We had guest speakers come in. So we always have some sort of educational piece. And then the third one that we haven't done, which we're looking forward to it, we're about to start setting this up as well, is we do one family vacation. At least we try to do it at least once a year, right? Where we'll do like a family vacation style where you can invite your family. Of course, a few hours of one of the days, we're going to do some sort of educational component. But besides that, we're going to kind of hang out. And the very last component of the Insiders Club is our affiliate program. So once you join the program, you could make money by referring other people to the program. So our goal is to make sure that if you are a part of the program, that you can earn too. Now, mastermind. The mastermind is a level above the Insiders Club, right? And the mastermind, with the mastermind, you automatically get lifetime access to the Insiders Club. So everything that I just said, you're going to get that. But the mastermind, the big difference of the mastermind is, so the Insiders Club is for a person that you want to learn how to do the business and you want to grow in that business. So let's say I want to learn how to get an Airbnb and I want to go get 2, and I want to go get 4, and I want to get 5, and I want to go get 20, and I want to go get 30. And then I want to learn how to do tour road. I want to learn how to do trucking. If you just want to learn the business and you just want to do the business and make money by doing the business, then the Insiders Club is a perfect program for you. You may not need the mastermind, right? The mastermind is not for everybody. The mastermind is for a person that's thinking a little bit ahead. You're thinking, I want to make money doing the business. So I want to go get 1, 2, 5, 12 Airbnbs, but I also want to make money teaching and coaching people on the business. So maybe you want to create some ebooks. Maybe you want to create audiobooks. Maybe you want to start your own mentorship program. Maybe you want to do weekly webinars and teach people and get paid. Maybe you want to start your own service. Like during this Q&A session, you heard them say a few times at the beginning, they joined my Power Hour. That was a service. It was an hour service I provided where people paid me and I taught them Airbnb. So basically it's learning a skill, learning a niche, right? Capitalizing on it, making money on that niche, but now making a freaking killing, sharing it and teaching and coaching other people, right? So my goal is to always teach people all the things that I do to live the way that I live and to provide the way that I provide. And that's what the insight. So when you join the mastermind, you're my group. Like my goal is to help you. And it doesn't have to be just short-term rental. I want to be very clear. It doesn't have to just be short-term rental. It can be anything. Maybe your niche, maybe you have a hair company, maybe you do event planning, maybe you do coaching for women. I don't like whatever it is, like it could be whatever. If you want to learn strategies, if you want to learn how to create a course, like I just taught them how to create a course with under $300. I taught them what microphones to buy. The exact camera that you're watching for. I told them about the cameras. I told them about how to use their phone to create a course. I told them about wireless mics, right? I told them how to spend like $300 and get everything they need. We told them how to create a course. We teach them about the difference between websites and funnels. We teach them how to use ChatGPT to create ebooks, right? We teach them about the pricing system and how to have multiple like if you want to learn that stuff and you want to really be into a higher thinking group, then the mastermind is for you. Okay. If you you can come straight into the mastermind, or if you're a part of the Insiders Club already, then you do get a discount to upgrade to the mastermind. All right. So if you want to know more about that, I would just reach out to me directly. If you're inside the Insiders Club and you're thinking about upgrading, just shoot me a message. If you have my number, shoot me a text. You can always reach out to me on Instagram too. If you have no idea who I am and you just see this gentleman on this video, it's at the THEJ Dinkins. That's JDINKINS. All right, cool. So back to your regular schedule, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I love my little commercials, man. I'm getting good at this stuff. All right, so I'm going to stay on and see if you guys have any more questions. I'll take a few more questions. I have a little more time. We'll do a few more questions. I don't want this video to be overly long, but I do want to make sure I do get your questions answered. So anybody else have any other questions so far? Feel free to raise your hand or write a quick message in the chat. Going once. Going twice. Catherine, I was looking like, as I see that hand going up.
Trying not to.
Nah,
This
don't
is my last one,
no, you don't. Hey, get your questions answered. And then once again, you're asking questions that other people want to ask, but they're afraid to hit unmute. So your questions are answers for other people. So ask your questions.
Okay. So I was looking mostly at 1 bedrooms.
Mhm.
Are 2 bedrooms more profitable, you feel like? Or if you have, because you have the pull-out bed option or the pull-out couch option, and then you have the bed, and then maybe like a roll-out bed or a cot or air mattress, right? Would it be okay to do that type of setup for a 1 bedroom and still be profitable? Or do you recommend going in maybe doing 2 bedrooms? How do you recommend choosing?
That's all going to be based on you. I can just give you some I can give you my opinion on things based on my experience. But I can tell you this, every single unit that I have and every single unit that I've ever had has been a 1 bedroom unit, right? Okay. Every last unit has been a 1 bedroom unit. And for many different reasons. Number one, the way we stage our 1 bedroom, we stage it to compete with 2 bedroom units, right? So we like to overbed. And, so, somebody may have a 2 bedroom sleep 5 and we have a 1 bedroom sleep 5, but they're paying $50 less per night. So they're going to stay in my unit because we can sleep the same amount of people. Right. For me, I'm open to doing a 2 bedroom, but it has to make sense. So this is just my psychology behind me getting a 2 bedroom. I'm going to look at the 1 bedroom. I'm going to look at the layout and see how can I furnish this unit, right? Then I'm gonna look at the 2 bedroom and I'm gonna look at that layout, see how can I furnish the unit, and I'm gonna look at both units' prices. I'm gonna look at whatever the price difference is. And whatever that price difference is, I'm gonna ask myself based on, and you can do the math, y'all. You can literally do the math, just like you do to figure out your profits for a 1 bedroom, you can figure out the profits for a 2 bedroom. But I'm gonna say, based on the difference, right? And the amount of bookings I'm gonna have, can I justify paying this much extra per month? So if a 1 bedroom, just to make numbers easy, is $1,000 a month, and a 2 bedroom is $1,500 a month, I'm gonna ask myself, if I get this 2-bedroom, will I make at least that $500 extra per month plus some more? Because I got to make some profit. Like, can I justify making, let's say, is it going to cause me to make $700 more per month? Because now, right, I got to pay $500 extra in rent. And now, cool, if I'm going to make an extra $200 on top of that, now that justifies it. So it, like, the difference, it has to be justified. So that's the first thing I'm looking for. Now, if the other thing that I'm looking for, which is kind of like the same thing, is how close in rent is the 1-bedroom and the 2-bedroom. So
I
I've
did
been,
the calculation.
huh?
Yeah, I did those calculations, and
Okay.
I would be spending $940 more and not making that much more.
There you
I'm
go.
probably making like $800 more.
That's a lot more.
For a 2-bedroom, but the only thing is that the rent is $2,700 for the 2-bedroom.
Wait, see, you're making 800 more, but you're paying 900 more in rent. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're paying $940 more.
Right. So it don't make, so you're gonna
Don't
lose
make
out.
no sense. Yeah, that's
There
why
you
I
go.
said you could get a 1-bedroom and make the 4,500 as opposed to the 5,400 and pay more in rent.
There you go. So you answer your own question, right? So I mean, that's what you did is exactly what I would do. The only other time I think about getting a 2-bedroom versus a 1-bedroom is when, let's say if I see a 1-bedroom, this happened, right? Because prices go up and down based on like the unit size, the dates it's available, et cetera, et cetera. So I may see a 1-bedroom for like 1,800, and I may see a 2-bedroom for 1,945. I'm like, I might grab this 2-bedroom because, so this happened in my entire time. It only happened twice where I said, I would highly consider getting a 2-bedroom because the difference wasn't that much. So I knew I could justify $140. I said, I'll figure, like, I'll make that extra. And if I don't make it, if I make the same amount, as long as I ain't losing, I'm okay. Now I got a 2-bedroom, right? But besides that, every other time I couldn't find a just reason to go to a 2-bedroom as opposed to getting a 1-bedroom. The times where the 1 and the 2-bedroom was close, for instance, in Nashville, the times when it was close, right, where I would look at it that way, the rent was way too high for a 1-bedroom. So I didn't even get a 1-bedroom. I'm like, yeah, the 1-bedroom is 3,800 and the 2-bedroom is 4,000, but I'm not even going to get this. I wouldn't even get this 1-bedroom. So I don't care if it's if I was to get a unit, I would get the 2-bedroom and pay the 4,000, but I'm like, I'm not doing that. Right. So once again, exactly what you did is exactly what I would do. But those are the two main things I look at when I try to decide what kind of unit I want to get. And once again, that is just my opinion. Now, I do want to give you guys something else that I've been thinking about lately, in a strategy that I'm going to be looking to do. So I am highly considering going out and getting some homes to renting out some 3 and 4-bedroom homes. And here's my psychology behind doing this. I want to find homes in areas where the rent is low enough and the property is nice enough where I could make my profits from only weekend bookings. Like, I only need the weekends to make my money. So to give you a simple example with simple numbers, if I saw an apartment, I mean, a house, right, in a good area, and they was charging $2,000 a month, and I see that I could charge at least $500 a night on a weekend, so I can make $1,000 at minimum per weekend if I booked it for 2 nights, or even from a Thursday to a Monday. If I could make $1,000, if I feel like I can make $1,000 per weekend, right? Within the 4 weekends, I'm making $4,000. I'm going to pay the $2,000 in rent, probably another $500 and whatever other expenses. I'm left with $1,500 in profit. That is a yes for me, because now on the weekdays, I can charge whatever. Like, I can charge $70 a night just to try to get it booked, because, in my head, on the weekdays, it's not going to be booked as much. But whatever, I'll take whatever extra money, because on the weekends, I'm making my profits anyway, right? So that is just another strategy that I'm working on. Like I said, right now I'm in a season of my life where I'm getting rid of the units that are headaches, We already got rid of one. We're about to get rid of one more, which is the last one. And then my goal is to go get some more Airbnb friendly buildings. These are the things that I'm focusing on. Doesn't mean that you have to. I like Airbnb friendly buildings because they're not headaches, right? So I want to get some Airbnb friendly buildings, and I want to get some homes where I can make the money on the weekends. And that's going to be my strategy for my next 10 units. Those are the type of units that I'm going after. All right. All right. So anybody have any questions in regards to anything else, any departing words? I will leave this floor open. If you guys have any departing words, anybody, feel free. And we are going to wrap this up.
Definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate you. And thanks for being our welcome to the panel, our special panel guest. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Great questions. All right. Anybody else before we officially turn this off? Everybody's good? Yes, thank you. And thank you, everybody. All right. All right. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. That is officially a wrap. The Airbnb overview. We ended it off with a bang with our Q&A session. If you haven't watched every part, I highly suggest that you watch every part. It is designed so if you actually go through it from the first part to the very last part, that you would know everything that you need to know when it comes to this short-term rental business as of what we've learned so far. Of course, with this business, just like in life, the only thing constant is change. So of course, in the future, there's going to be some updates, there's going to be some changes. And if anything happens where we feel like we need to add some more information, we'll do another segment and go ahead and add it in here. But this is your guide. Like, this is your go-to. If you want to know, just look at the different titles, right, of each segment, and go and make sure you watch that, because for the most part, your questions will be answered. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a great night, great morning, depending on the time that you're watching this. Take care.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Good night.